All right, let's talk sleeves. Kevin back with M2G to go, Blue Shell Gaming. Still working the shop today. Figured I'd spend some time. Let's talk about sleeves. Let's talk about Magic sleeves. Let's talk about how we protect our decks. There's a lot of discussion that people go through when they choose sleeves, and I've been at 100 card shops where people are, they swear by Dragon Shields, or they swear by the KMCs, or they feel like the Ultra Pro sleeves are just fine for what they do. What's your opinion? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to know what people like. I'm not one of those people that says this is what is the only thing that's good and nothing else matters. It really does come down to personal preference. What do you like? What feels good to you? What do you like looking at? What do you enjoy playing with? For me, there's a reason there's multiple options. There's a reason there's a variety of choices, because different people like different things, and it's okay to like something different. It's not our job to dictate what someone should use or why they should use it, but instead to have options for people. I will talk a little bit about what I prefer and why I prefer it. Let's start with the Dragon Shields, only because I feel like Dragon Shields are one of the more overly hyped sleeves on the market, and these boxed matte sleeves are what a lot of people I know order, buy, use. And I feel like they're overpriced, and I don't feel like you get what you pay for. Here's my issue with Dragon sleeves, and I'm not going to open these and look at them. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you some Dragon sleeves that have been used. And these have only been used probably 10 times in play, maybe a little bit more. And the issue I have with Dragon Shields is, I don't know if you can see in that light or in these spots, there's just dirt clumps on the sleeves, and it gets on there, and every single sleeve you literally have to like scrape them off of one another. Now granted, I do like the back. I like that matted finish, the real good texture to the back of the card, so when they're down they're not sliding. But this really bugs me, and I think it is because of that matte back, and as that slides, what those grooves are doing is they're gathering up all kinds of dirt and grime in there, and then they're facing the front, the glossy side. And I say glossy side very liberally. I don't like the finish on these. They're not glossy enough for me. You can't, your cards go in there and they look kind of drab to me. It really just kills the look of the card. Now these are this style, so these do have kind of a glossier front. These matted ones are even less glossy, and then you go like this, and then you got all those clumps of dirt, and you can see those clumps of dirt when your card's in there, and it's just ugly. I haven't found any other sleeves really do that and have all that dirt and grime on them as much as the Dragon Shields. I may be wrong. You correct me if I'm wrong. If you have problems with other sleeves that do that, let me know, but that's just my experience with the Dragon Shields. And when you have bad experiences with something, you tend to lean away from that product. So let's talk about the Ultra Pro. These are just the regular deck protector sleeves. They do have the Pro Mats, I believe they're called, the other ones. My issue with the Ultra Pro sleeves are, I have split these sleeves I don't know how many times, more than I'd like to count probably. And my other issue is they're just really dull. These are some black ones that I've had for a little while. These are the ones that started splitting, but let's see, I think I have like one foil card in this. Yeah, the Whirler Rogue there. This is part of my Aristocrats deck, but when you put foils in your deck, you really want to see them, and this has got just such a bad dull finish on it, that your foil, that it gets darkened. And I don't know if you could see that, but there is no like life to that. I mean, you take it out of that sleeve just a little bit and you're like, whoa, that's a world different. So I really feel like it just, you put pretty cards in there and they just dull down to nothing. And then that was my only issue with these until I started playing with these after, you know, I'd say I probably played in 4 or 5 F&Ms, and I did one of the shuffles, and I literally had 2 cards cut into another card and split 2 sleeves wide open on one shuffle. 2 sleeves on one shuffle was kind of I was amazed by it. The nice thing about the Ultra Pros over the Dragon Shields is, you know, I think these are sturdier. I have had, you know, friends of mine and people around me complain that they split the Dragon Shields too. So they say they're just as easily split as the Ultra Pros. But these are half the price. I mean, these Dragon Shields run $10 for 100. These guys are, you know, $5, $6. You know, 7 at the most. And if you're paying more than $6, you might as well get the KMCs, because I feel like the KMCs are the far superior product. And I'm gonna clarify that with a little something. The KMC HyperMats are the far superior product. Don't just go buy KMC sleeves and think that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. I have a deck here that I bought. I bought these KMC Supers because I wanted the glossy. I was like, super glossy, and so I figured, you know, they'd have a really nice glossy front, because I had some really cool foils in here, like these foil Radiant Flames. I was like, oh, I want these to look really nice, and they look super sweet in these sleeves, and I really like them. Even though they're double sleeved, they still have their real good shine and luster to them. But this is the problem. What they meant by super glossy was the backs are glossy too. Not a big fan of the glossy back. First of all, you stack up your deck and you got, I mean, 60 card deck, mostly, or a good portion of it, double sleeved, and you shuffle it all up and you set it down, and I mean, it's not doing it now, but it'll start drifting. Your deck will just start sliding, because these, I mean, they're super KMC Super. No, they're super glossy on the back. I mean, it makes for really buttery shuffling and stuff like that. I mean, I really feel like these cards just shuffle together so beautifully. But I really don't like that glossy back. I mean, they just slide right off. And they were cheap. You know, they've held up really well. I mean, they haven't worn off very much. You can see the backs are starting to wear a little bit, but it's not leaving dirt on the front. I don't have any dirt specks on them. You know, I'm not scraping crap off my sleeves as I play, which is really nice. But not a big fan of the glossy back. And when I double sleeve these, man, let me tell you, they were like air pocket. I mean, it felt like I was holding 100 cards in just my 60 card deck. I had to like get them and smash them down and smash them, and then like it was sucking all the air out. And then when you smash them together, because they're glossy on both sides, they stick together. They don't want to come apart after you smash them. So just kind of a weird little niche with these supers. I don't think super means better, in my opinion. Super doesn't mean better. But the KMC HyperMats, I think, are the best sleeves money can buy. Like I said, in my opinion, this is my landfall deck. Majority is double sleeved, and got a morph token there for some reason. They have a textured back. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it is textured. It's not as textured as the Dragon Shields, but it is textured enough to where they're not slipping around. I mean, you really got to push them for them to slide off of one another, and they do hold up well against the playmat, so they're not sliding around too much on the playmat. Gives you that texture on the back, but these things are just, I mean, for not having a smooth back, I've never had a deck of cards or a deck of Magic that just fell together the way that these sleeves have fell together. Now, these sleeves I built a deck in them. I took the entire deck out. I built a new deck in them, and then I switched the deck around and I put about half the cards, pulled about half the cards out and put a whole new set of cards in, and I played them each time differently with, or you know, each time I played them, I was moving cards around. I was taking stuff out of the sleeves, putting them back in the sleeves, and not having any problems with the sleeves, just holding up really well. You know, really glossy tops. One of the things that I really like, because you know, I don't have a lot of foils, but I do have, you know, a couple just real basic foils. But even with I mean, you can see both those really bright, really clear. Yeah, like Cinder Glade. I mean, really nice foiling. And when you buy sleeves, when you buy foil cards, when you get really cool foil cards, you want to show them off when you're playing with them. You don't want them to look dull and drab. You want them to look like, man, that card hits the table, and they're just like, they're thinking about how nice that card looks. They're not thinking about how painful it's going to be when you know, hit them with that creature, or that landfall trigger just is going to annihilate them. So distracting people with your foils, this is how you do it. Now, so for me, KMC HyperMats, I mean, I don't think there's anything better. You know, there is some ones you get where they have the matte front finish, and I do think the matte is a little bit more drab. I do like the glossy front, but they have this matted back that's really nice. It's not overly matted. I don't know if it's so hard to tell on camera, but I mean, there's a lot more grit to the Dragon Shields, and I think that's why they grab so much dirt and crap. Yeah, I've played with these sleeves probably, oh man, I can't even say 40 matches, you know. And this is a landfall deck. I have 12 fetch lands in here. I'm constantly fetching, constantly reshuffling these cards, constantly, you know, just moving them in and out of one another. And I mean, they're white sleeves too, which is, I always had a question about white sleeves, like, are they going to hold up? Are they going to get dirty? I mean, these sleeves are beautiful. They're still really clean. The fronts are still really shiny, really bright, really easy to see through, and I just love them. So that's my pick. If, like I said, if you have an opinion on it, if you think there's a sleeve out there that's better, if you think there's something that I should try, that I would like more, I bought these red ones because it's the last pack we had at the shop, and I wanted to put these on my new Abzan deck that I'm putting together. So maybe I'll do a little deck tech after I put that together and post it for you guys. But I wanted to talk about sleeves, see what you guys thought, see what you guys liked. If there's a there's a better brand out there, you know, that I don't know of, I don't know of anybody else that makes sleeves that people want to use other than these three brands. And I know there's variations of them, and some might be better. Like I said, the supers, don't buy the super KMCs, just not worth it. They're the same price, or even more, and not a big fan. Won't buy those ever again. I will buy Ultra Pro still. You know, these were cheap and effective. Yeah, I did have some split on me. No, they didn't affect the cards because those cards were double sleeved, or the cards that that split didn't have, or didn't need to be double sleeved. They were commons and uncommons that weren't worth much. So, I mean, my cards weren't damaged. I was able to switch the sleeves out with some sideboard cards. Not a big deal, but you know, a lot cheaper. You're getting 80 here, you're getting 100 here, you're getting 100 here, but price difference, man, is it really worth $10 for sleeves that are gonna get dirty on you? I mean, like I said, 10 matches with these and they're dirty, 40 matches with these and they're beautiful like the first day I had them. You tell me. I could be doing something wrong, I could be crazy, but KMC HyperMat blows everyone else away. Thanks for watching. MTG to go, Blue Shell Gaming. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And let me know what you think. I like hearing from people, and I like making fun videos. So if there's anything else you want to see, anything else you want me to do, feel free to comment, post. Have a good one.